Welcome to the Leverage Show, where entrepreneurs learn how to work less and make more. I want to invite you to email your business questions and challenges to me at questions@levrigeshow.com, and I'll answer them on future episodes. Today, I want to share with you a simple 3-step lid method for rapid growth while maintaining control in your business. You know, as entrepreneurs, we all want to grow our businesses, but we have this inner conflict because we want to keep control of the business that we've started and that we're trying to build, and yet we want to be able to grow. And those two forces are sort of in conflict, because if we're the gatekeeper, if we are the bottleneck, and we are the source of everything new that's going to happen in our business, then we're limited. We're limited to what we personally can handle, what we personally can produce. And that's not a way or a recipe to build a big, large, successful business. I mean, if you think about it and you look around and you study the most successful people and the most successful businesses, you'll see that they're usually comprised of more than one employee. You know, there might have been one visionary that's at the top, but there always have to be a lot more people in order to be able to make it happen, whether they're employees or outsourcers or, you know, whatever else it may be. So if we need to do every single thing ourselves in order to know that it's done right, the problem is we can never do enough, and our businesses are constrained and they're limited. Now, if we outsource or delegate too much, on the flip side of it, especially if we do it too fast, the issue that we run into is there's potential for growth because we have a lot more people doing things that we need them to do, but now we have to worry and fear about our quality. We have to worry about the standards that we have for ourselves and for our business. And, you know, we also have to worry about our values. I mean, whatever we've set out to accomplish as business owners in trying to make a difference and to do the things and provide the services and products that we do, the more people that you get sort of in the mix, the more risk there is, because the more removed they are from our original vision. And so basically through trial and error and through a lot of struggle and headaches, I've developed a simple 3-step method that I want to share with you that helps solve this dilemma. And I call it the LID, or the lid method. And ironically, it's actually the opposite of that, but that's an easy way to remember what it is. Now, step 1 in this method is to learn. So whatever new thing that you want to be able to take on, if you want to start a social media strategy, or you want to start video marketing, or you want to start a new product line, or whatever it is that you want to start, you know, the easy way to do it is to throw some money at it, hire somebody and get them to do it. But the problem is, then you come back to that control issue. So the first step is to learn. My recommendation is for almost anything you're going to do, especially when you're small, and especially if you don't have people on your team that you inherently trust. Now, you will get to a point where you have, you know, right-hand people where you know what this person is all about. You know what they're capable of. You know the quality of work that they're going to do. And you know that you sort of see eye to eye on the way things need to be done. And at that point, that person can sort of do what they need to do. And, you know, it's not like you need to micromanage them. But the first step, especially if you're small, especially if you're a one-person show, or especially if you don't have anybody on the team yet at that level of trust, is to learn what it is that you want to do. So you may not be a marketing expert. You may not even care about Facebook or, you know, Twitter or whatever it is, right? But it's really important that you go and do a little bit of the research and learn what the process would be to do the sort of marketing that you want to do. Because when you learn it yourself, it allows you to really understand what it takes. It allows you to understand what's possible. It allows you to understand what, you know, your business would be capable of and what the potential is of this new idea. So you sort of get an overall understanding of what the capabilities are going to be, what the costs are going to be, and what the, you know, the time investment and money investment is going to be. That gives you a basic framework for understanding it. Now, you don't need to become an expert in it, but you need to learn what the steps are in the process. Take that on yourself if this is something big, and make sure that you really understand what it takes to be able to do what it is that you want to do. And once you feel like you have a pretty good idea of the framework, then you move on to step 2. And by the way, you should probably document this stuff, because this is going to give you a really great process and a really great structure to your business. If you document what you're learning, it's not only going to help you reflect back and remember when you have more and more things going on, but it serves as a great template for everybody else in your business when they're doing things and things have been delegated to them. You now have a process for how to do this. When we're taking on something new, we're going to document the process. We're going to come up with a process for how we do this, and then we're going to continue to evolve that process. Now, step 2 is you're going to transition into implementation. This is where you yourself are going to start to implement this process. You're going to actually get down and dirty with it and start to actually do the work. So if it's a YouTube marketing strategy, you don't necessarily need to shoot the videos, but you're going to be in control of what content goes in those videos, what format those videos are going to be. You're going to manage that process. And then you're going to actually get in there and upload the first video, put in the tags, do the title, do the description. You're going to do all of these things yourself the first time around. And you're going to actually implement the process. And then what you're going to do as you're implementing is you're going to continue to add to that document that you've started, that process document, where you're going to start to add the different details about different aspects of the project. There may be things that you hadn't thought of that as you start to go through it, you realize, geez, I didn't think that through, but now I realize I've got to be able to do this too. I've got to be able to tweak this, and I have to be able to adjust that. And here's another decision that needs to be made. And this is a best practice about this, and you're going to learn that stuff on the fly by implementing. But again, what you're going to do is you're going to shed light on how much time does this really take? What skill level is required to be able to pull this off? What background would somebody need in order to be successful at this? And you're going to really start to get a good understanding of it. Now, step 2B, because it's really 4 steps, but I'm narrowing it down to 3. Step 2B is to evaluate. So now once you've implemented it, the next step is to sort of evaluate what happened. Okay, so we put some videos up. Let's give it whatever amount of time we think we need, 2 weeks, a month, whatever it is. Evaluate your results. Evaluate whether or not this is something you think your business wants to continue with. Either it's going to be a yes or it's going to be a no. In either case, those are really easy decisions. If it's a yes, you're going to continue on to step 3. If it's a no, you're going to just X the whole thing. And then there's going to be some that might be in the gray area where it's sort of we'll see. We're not sure yet. Jury's still out. So on those, I recommend you move to step 3 and let it roll for a little while and then go back, but put it on an evaluation list for another 30, 60, or 90 days. So you're going to learn it, you're going to implement it, and then you're going to evaluate it. And for anything that you are either undecided about or that you've decided, yes, I'm going to move forward with this, the third step, and this is the biggie, is to delegate. This is where you've now established a process. You at least have a baseline process. You know what it takes. Now, your job is to find somebody either within your staff, hire somebody new, or outsource to somebody else that can just be, hired for this particular job or, an ongoing job or whatever, a group of these jobs, and give them the process and give them the task and responsibility to do it. And you let them know that as they do this, you want them to continue to update this document, continue to update this process. And what this will do for you is it will allow you to then, you could cut ties on that and put it into evaluation mode, and you can move on to the next thing. But while you're doing it, your business is continuing to churn this thing out. So if this is productive, if this is making you money, if this is growing your brand, that's going to, perpetually be moving forward for you. But at the same time, you don't need to sit over it. You have control because you established the process. You know what it should cost you in terms of time and investment. You know what the capabilities are. So you can evaluate cost versus ROI. Every month you can look at that. You can say, what are we getting out of this and what are we putting into it? If it's consistent with what you believe, keep it rolling. If it gets to a point where you feel like it's out of whack, check, make sure, has the process become outdated or is the person implementing it not being successful? It's a lot easier to maintain and evaluate that way than to continue to micromanage the process every single day. Because if you do that, there's no way that you can grow. You've got to be able to delegate that to either an outsourcer or to an employee, and then you move on to the next thing. Okay, now we're going to develop a new product line. I'm going to get in there. I'm going to learn what my customers want in this product. I'm going to implement it. I'm going to actually create what this prototype is going to be or what I want it to be before I send it into production. And then, I'm going to be really hands-on, but then I'm going to evaluate and I'm going to delegate. So it's the lid method. Now, if you use this lid method for every new process and idea in your business, the amazing thing is you're going to keep a very strong sense of control over both your culture in your business and the quality standards that you have set up. But at the same time, you're going to take the brakes off your growth, and you're going to absolutely be able to explode because it helps resolve the inherent conflict that exists between control and growth. And it's going to allow you to get to your goals a lot faster by doing that. Okay, so remember to email your questions and challenges to me at questions@levrigeshow.com so I can answer them for you on future episodes. And until next time, make it happen.